dun, 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 dun. Welcome back to another episode of Race Ed Podcast. My name's Angus.
My name is Reem.
And we have two very special guests today. We have Ila and we have Aurora. Yay!
Yay!
So I'm not the only model here, and we have three other models. So how did you guys meet?
So I met Ila during my first pageant. And this was maybe 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And she was the youngest in our bunch, and we just stayed in touch right after. And Aurora, I think we met only a year ago. Yeah, it was during a Filipino parade event, and
That's when I met.
yeah, that's when you guys met for the first time too.
Okay.
So through Filipino events, pageantry, and yeah, Aurora, I've known her for only a year, but this woman is well-rounded. She is a model. She used to be in a rock band. Like, her looks doesn't give that, but that's insane. And she is also an aspiring beauty queen. Whereas Ila, the pageant we met at was both our first pageant, and she's a content creator, a model, and an aspiring entrepreneur. Yeah.
Damn. What an intro.
Having us.
No problem. Did we miss anything?
Nah.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, since you guys are models, you guys have to deal with a lot of photographers, right? Because you guys do a lot of photo shoots. What distinguish between a good photographer, a professional one, I guess,
Yeah.
and an amateur one or not so good one?
Yeah. I think like what makes a good photographer is a photographer that definitely like sets boundaries for sure. Definitely like not really set boundaries when you're there, but more so when you get there, you feel comfortable, you feel like welcomed, you feel safe. And it's not really, you don't feel like you're being exploited to do anything that you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Again, like making you feel comfortable.
Yeah. I am curious though, when you walk into a professional photographer's studio, what are the signs that he is a safe photographer for you?
Even before meeting them.
Yeah, even before meeting them, during the talking stage, during the
Right.
planning stage, down from like brainstorming all the way through your first meeting. How was that for you?
I would have to say one thing that I always look at, especially when like a photographer reaches out to you like via Instagram DM, I would have to say the first thing you would want to look at is like followers. You would want to look at how many people have worked with him, and on top of that, like the stuff he's put out, the stuff he's created. If he has anything like small like those little magazine covers that people kind of put out there,
And it gives them credibility.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if he's just starting out? What if he's like, I want to be a hustler. I'm trying to put my name out there, and he hits you up, but he has like 10 followers.
I feel like mutuals is also a big thing. Like,
Okay.
if it's like all other models that I follow that I know are trusted and like I know them, that is like also like a AO.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Because I think even like if we're talking about Vancouver wise, I think like even in Vancouver, the community, like it's such a big city, but everyone knows everybody here. And so it's like once you really get into the industry, or you really delve into like modeling or like the entertainment industry, like acting or music or whatever, you're always going to meet around the same people that are kind of into the same thing. And so like, for example, like I met some people at one of Ila's modeling events, and I had mutuals with them. And so it's like based off of what people in your community.
Yeah. And I would say for like the texting, like I think I had experience with one photographer where I feel like he was kind of like, it was like he was nice, and that's good to be professional and like polite, but I feel like it can be a little like flirty and a little suspicious. And I think like having a well-organized shoot is what makes you feel safe, because I remember looking on TikTok and like things you should keep mind of to like save yourself from these suspicious situations, and it was like always be afraid of second locations, especially if you didn't know about it. So when I saw that TikTok, and then I had a photo shoot, and then last minute, like I'm in the car, he picks me up, he's like, oh, we're gonna go to this location instead. And I haven't been here really before, like it's well known, but I didn't like know my way around it. So I was
Oh, it's like a change of plans.
Yeah.
It's like straight up trying to kidnap you.
yeah,
Oh my god.
back. It's like,
Yo.
Oh my gosh, yeah, there was like a similar story I heard from
Mhm.
like there was like a similar story that I heard where like this girl, like obviously she's in the pageant modeling community.
Mhm.
You know her as well.
okay.
And she was explaining that she worked with like this photographer, and he had like a set location where they were supposed to meet, and then he changed the location last minute. And so what she actually ended up doing was she changed the location herself and said, no, I want to film here. And then he ended up saying no. And so I feel like that is also like a really big red flag, especially when, you know, like obviously if you're talking to a photographer, you're communicating, it's like obviously you want to make sure that they are catering to what you want as well. Because at the end of the day, it is your photo shoot, and it is going to your Instagram as well.
Yeah.
Like you are the model. And so like obviously if you want to shoot at a different location or whatever, they should probably be more understanding about that. And yeah.
And how did that go for you, since you said that the photographer changed it last minute? Did you pull through, or?
Yeah, honestly, I probably shouldn't have, like in a way where I probably was like, hey, like I think we should just stick to this location. But I think since it was like in the same time, I didn't want to be rude. Like I didn't want to seem like, oh, he's suspicious. I don't want to make him like, it's like that like fear factor. Like you don't want to like escalate it if it is that way. But I think it just kind of made him more suspicious because he wanted to go to like a very far area of this location, and it looked like a place you would literally get kidnapped.
Oh.
And so I legit like texted my boyfriend like, hey, watch my location because like I don't know.
Oh, you went?
You actually went?
Yeah, I went. Like it was a public area,
Yeah.
but then there was still people around, but it wasn't that many people. I don't know.
Oh my
And honestly,
God,
if
dude.
it was the wrong person, I probably like I made sure we didn't go to that exact location though. Like I was like oh yeah, we can go here where it looks like I could get kidnapped. But I was like, oh no, let's just like stay out here instead.
Yeah.
Like in the public eye?
Yeah, exactly.
Wait, so how does it work? Is it usually the photographer that picks a place or the model that picks a place? Like, I don't know how it works.
I say it's like an agreement, or it's like if the photographer has an idea, or if you have an idea, you can just combine them together. Yeah.
Okay. But then what if he's like, I have a really good idea. We should change your location. The photo is going to turn out amazing.
That's literally what that guy said.
Oh, shoot. I'm that dude. I'm that dude. But then, like, is that okay? Is that comes off unprofessional? Or is it more like, hey, the sun is out, it's clear
I
sky
mean, like once you meet up with them, like once you've already met up with them, or are you talking about
on that day?
Okay.
On that day? Because, like, you know, weather changes, right? So what if it's like, oh, it's super sunny now. I know this perfect place. It's like early in the morning. There's no one there. We can get the shot in.
Mm-hmm.
Is that professional or?
I mean, I think it just depends on the vibe of the
I
photographer.
was gonna say that.
Like, I think it, but also there's a lot of serial killers that just had amazing vibes, like handsome face, like you didn't even realize like they were like,
Okay. So you
So-
can't, this is a gamble basically.
yeah, like it was like, it's like those collab shoots. So it's not like super professional. Like we have lights up, we have mics, kind of
Yeah.
professional. So it's kind of like freestyle, but at the same time, it's, I don't know, it's very situational, I would say.
Yeah,
Okay.
100%.
What's a good
depends where.
vibe? What's a good vibe photographer?
Yeah, what are your experiences? Like, give us a prime example of a photographer who has given you a shoot and this is basically your standard now. You're only going to accept or maybe give some wiggle room to photographers who can live up to that standard. Like, give an example.
I would say if someone, they ask permission to do things like, hey, are you comfortable with this? Or they offer, hey, you can bring someone with you. If they, I would say like if they give you snacks, but you never know if they could drug them. But
Yo, easy. You just gotta give Ila snacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give her, and then she's sold. She's like, oh, good vibes.
yeah,
I like this.
that's how you're gonna go. Anyway,
Yeah.
anyway.
I would have to say also like just like the distance. I would have like physically is what I also meant. Like a lot of people obviously when you meet for the first time, like they'll give you a lot of distance, but if you notice like say in the middle of the shoot or something, like, you know, they're asking you to do things you don't want to do, or like it's getting to the point where, say for example, like even in different themes of like your photo shoots, some people want to shoot like very like boudoir sexy style like photo shoots, and a lot of that can be easily like manipulated, especially like even being a pageant girl when you want to like take like your bikini photo shoots or like your pageant or whatever, like, you know, it's like a lot of that can be easily like, you know, what's the word, like
Exploited.
yeah,
Exploited,
exactly. And so I feel like once it gets to that point, it's like you want to make sure that the photographer is still maintaining that distance with you, that same respect, but obviously if they're acting a little bit different, or, you know, they're saying some stuff that's a little bit like personally for me, like I had like one photographer in the middle, like I think like it was at this point where like I just did not have a bra underneath, and I was basically just holding like my boobs, like I was holding my boobs like this, and then he was like, yeah, like so beautiful, like you just like
Whoa.
No, exactly. Choice of words is so important. Like,
yeah, like I feel like it's like obviously the photographer, like, yeah, you can be like, yeah, that looks really good, do that, like that looks really good, like that's very respectable, but it's like once I'm fully like holding my tits, like I know my boobs have been slipping out already, and it's just like, yeah, like you look like really pretty, so gorgeous, like so beautiful.
Is he trying to be a hype man though?
It didn't give hype.
yeah,
I would say it
'Cause-
didn't give hype.
Yeah, because what if they're like, yeah, you're sexy, go girl, and
That's like different. That would be like, okay,
yeah,
like,
I'd say like
that's
like that.
hey,
Yeah,
yeah,
sexy, really. Like, no.
while licking his lips while like taking pictures.
Oh,
You notice how our entire conversation we refer to photographers as he? Where are the female photographers?
exactly. I was just thinking about
Yeah.
that. Because I feel like after my experiences, like I feel like I've been holding back with collaborating with like many photographers lately, because I want to work with women. I feel like I feel more like comfortable, but not saying like I have male photographers that I'm super like comfortable with. Like not saying all men. There's just some that kind of make you
Little cringe.
yeah, like you kind of want to like take a step back.
yeah.
And
Is
then
it common
for
for creepy men, I guess, or creepy photographers?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
surprisingly.
actually very common.
and
Yeah.
like
Really?
there's also a term that even went around. I'm in a part of this Vancouver photographers group where they've made a term for guys with cameras, like GWC. Guys with cameras are basically guys who hit on girls under the guise of building up their portfolio, you know.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so it's actually a phenomenon where male photographers get into photography as a way to meet women or to hit on women.
That's so
And you can tell that they're very amateur. They start with a DSLR. Nothing wrong with that, but even with their portfolio, you can just tell that it's mostly outdoorsy. It's mostly you know, they're just getting started into
Photography.
experimenting with editing. And a lot of like I'm just talking based off of how they interact with girls. A lot of their portfolio is just a certain type of girl or a certain type of look, you know.
Like they're a type.
Yeah, their type
Like
basically.
like all blondes or something?
Yeah, all blondes, or just they stick to a certain archetype of
Okay, so
woman.
what's their goal? Like, what do you think? To date them?
To date them, to
Get in a relationship?
or maybe to be like, oh, I'm around very beautiful
Pretty
women,
girls?
like just
It's like an ego
ego
boost?
stroke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn, that's new.
Yeah.
Sure. How common is that? I guess that's common, I guess.
It's very common.
That's why you guys have a
Yeah.
name for it.
Yeah. And even in, I don't know if you guys noticed, but there is there's one specific group page on Facebook where they warn you about scammer photographers. So even well-known photographers who are well-established in the Vancouver scene, they warn people, and especially models, not to work with certain type of photographers, if especially they come off predatory, or they come off where they just milk you for your money and they're just starting out.
Okay, so how do they milk you? Like, what are the signs of them trying to milk? That's just a weird word. How to scam you?
Personally, I've never been scammed.
Yeah.
But I know it exists.
Like, do they take a picture and then they don't send you the pictures? Be like, you gotta pay me like.
Oh yeah, that happens. I
$500
can
or
imagine that
something.
happening. Yeah.
So that's like one form of scamming.
Yeah, they promise you one thing. They promise you a certain, the amount of photos.
Yeah.
You pay them, and then their work is either poorly done or, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got scammed before.
And have you?
Oh, really?
It finally, okay, so I was doing this this group photo shoot. So someone hosts a studio and clothes, and you can like go in with a bunch of photographers and other models. And there was one photographer that just completely went ghost on all of us. He didn't send us the photos. At some point he did, but it just didn't hold the expectations, I would say. And it should not take that long and that much convincing to send your half of the work, you know?
Exactly.
Did he had like I guess a demo reel or portfolio where the
had a
quality
really
was
good
like so
one.
good? Oh shoot, he scammed you.
Yeah.
That's messed up. Doesn't that ruin their reputation though? Like, or the review? Can't you like drop them a review? Is that how it works? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think some people do have websites. I have seen it where you can legit leave a review, but I don't really see that.
Really? So it's just like word of mouth then?
Yeah.
You're like, this guy sucks ass. Okay. Oh shoot.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people, like a lot of photographers that, like you were saying, like it is like a way to take advantage of women, especially like young women, because there are also a lot of younger women that, Instagram or social media is so big. It's like you look at like, these famous models or whatever, and like you look at them and like a lot of young girls are so attracted to that. It's like, oh, I want to be like that. And so they start putting themselves out there and they don't really know any better. And, there's not really a lot out there that kind of, can tell you a lot about modeling unless you have somebody who has been in the modeling scene that can help you out, which is something like that's very advisable. Like if you are getting into modeling, like definitely do that. But yeah, it's a very targeted industry, I would say.
Very niche.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever walked out of a photo shoot because it got so uncomfortable? You're like, hell no, I'm out.
As if I had my own car. I mean, my own license, actually. My appointment's on Tuesday, guys.
Oh shoot, yo, that's gonna be exciting for your end.
Like, yeah, because my L expired. Oh, no, my L, because it expired.
Oh, so you're gonna renew your L.
Yeah, I'm gonna renew
Yeah,
it.
Reem's gonna get hers this year.
Maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
Are you teaching her how to drive?
No, I'm trying to teach her, but she needs to get her L first.
Feel that.
Yeah.
Okay, so would you, Aurora, walked out?
No, I mean, honest to God, like I haven't had a lot of photography experience.
Yeah.
And so there was never really an opportunity to walk out. Like a lot of the photographers the few photographers that I worked with, they have been pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
There was just like that one experience, but it still turned out really good. It was still pretty respectable, I would say. It wasn't something that I was in there and I was like, oh, I have to walk out of this.
Yeah.
Oh, and another red flag in a photographer, if they fat shame you.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, is that
Yeah.
common?
Especially men photographers. Women photographers don't do that.
Wait, how did they?
Oh,
wait,
what do they
just say like just straight up like you're fat.
No, not really, but like it's implied. So my first ever shoot post pageant, this guy was trying to find an angle that worked for me, but then he was like, "Oh, you're a little chubby here, aren't you? Like under the arms."
Oh my god.
And I was like, "Yes," and he was like, I don't know how to work with that."
Yo, that's kind of messed up.
And then he was like, try moving around a little bit. And
So was he amateur photographer?
no,
Was he new?
he was very well known. He's published.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, don't accept that.
Mhm.
Don't accept that from any photographer.
So what?
Yeah.
Did you walk out?
No, I stayed throughout
You're
because it was free. And it was also under the guise of like my photography. The moment I post you, people are gonna start reaching out to you. So you have very cocky photographers saying that, oh, once you work with me, you're gonna get fame and notoriety.
because
He said that.
No, like you can
It's
just
the
tell
vibe.
the arrogance
yeah.
that just comes out of the photographer. Yeah.
Oh, it's because they have a lot of experience.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
shoot.
We
Interesting.
gotta like share what photographers we're talking about.
Yeah, off camera.
Yeah.
There is a Facebook group.
There
like
is
that?
multiple moderated Facebook groups for
Oh,
models and photographers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, for photographers to say like which model is hard to work with.
Yeah, and yeah, that I haven't seen complaints about models, but it's more so how it's a page where anyone can literally promote themselves, see that they're willing to work TFP, that they're willing to collaborate, just show their work, promote their work, and people can, I don't know, that's how photographers get their name out there and find models who are, you know, for a specific look, for a specific day, see whoever's available. Makeup artists are in the group too.
Oh shoot! So everyone's just sharing.
Yeah, just
So
a bunch of
there's-
creatives.
There's a lot of like safe space
Mm.
for you to refer to.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty good. But I guess the biggest thing is that if you're new to modeling, you better find these Facebook groups, or I don't know, like, okay, if I'm a model and I'm trying to jump into it, how do I even do I just like message random photographers or?
No, start with mutuals. Definitely start
Yeah.
knowing someone who's already dipped their toes in the industry.
Ask for their opinion on it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the safest way.
Okay. And then kind of work your way
Mm-hmm.
up there. Oh, shoot. Okay. Dude, I learned so much about creepy photographers. Okay, so basically, to be a professional photographer,
Mm.
we need to be not creepy. And to be not creepy is don't make them do stuff they don't want to do. I think that's it, right? And don't change the spot last minute.
And easy on the comments.
Easy on
Yeah.
comments.
Tell the
Words.
words.
Actions, words.
Yeah.
Personal space.
Personal space.
space.
Okay.
Being respectful.
Okay. And so all those key points, and then you won't be a creepy photographer.
Yay.
Yeah, and then you're a professional. Like, okay, so I'm curious, how much does photography usually cost?
Oh, it varies.
It's pretty
depending on-
expensive though. That's why I don't really lean towards paying one unless I actually need to.
Okay.
But as is for like, I want to get my own portraits done.
Yeah.
That's like for my own business,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
really for like a collab. I think that's when I would pay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how much does it usually cost
I think over 100 usually,
Okay.
unless they like.
for like an hour?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. But okay. That's not, I guess, is that cheap? Is that on the cheap end?
Yeah, that's on the cheap end.
Probably.
Any established photographer can go anywhere between 240 to 500 an hour.
500?
Yeah,
Make big money.
they do.
Okay. One of you guys should be a photographer.
Yeah.
And then later you guys can start
Oh,
All the
female photographers.
female photographers.
You're
There you go.
Photographers.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think we should wrap up there, but to be not a creepy one, just give boundaries, be professional about it, stop DMing. It's okay for them to DM you though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just
okay.
just be professional about it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't ask them to go out on like a date or something.
Don't act like it's a date once you get there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Has that happened?
Yeah, like the one I feel like I'm talking about like the same dude here, but like
We can cut it out. It's like
yeah, like no, it's fine. I won't say names, but like one time, like examples, I tripped and then he catches me, which is yeah, but then it was like unnecessary. Like I didn't trip that exaggerate. Okay, actually, let me say a different example. I was
he
holding
tripped you, and he's like, "Oh, I got you."
yeah. I mean, like no. Like I was like holding my bag and then like he was like, "Oh, I can hold it for you." He's like, "No, I got it." He's like, "No, it's okay. I'll do it. I'm a gentleman." I'm like, oh, "Okay." And then it was just like,
Oh, that's kind of weird.
yeah, it was like that kind of energy throughout the
I
shoot.
don't like
Who would say I'm a gentleman?
Oh, that makes
Yeah, exactly.
Who the heck says that? Yo, man. You don't have to
right?
tell people you're a gentleman.
Flex here, like, especially because I also mentioned I had a boyfriend too, so I don't know why he
Yeah.
was keeping up with this.
Crazy.
it's so bad. Sorry, like we're talking a lot, but
Yeah.
like
No, it's okay.
so bad. Like when it gets to the point that you have to actually voice out that I have a boy,
Yeah.
you know, like that's like a lot. That's really.
And what does that person usually say when you say I have a? Do they just rub it off?
I think they just like, yeah, just like continue, like it's like
Oh, like you
a
didn't hear.
conversation.
Oh,
Yeah, I guess.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man. So in the end, just don't be that dude.
Don't be
Alright.
that dude.
Just don't be that dude. I hope you enjoy this podcast. I definitely learned a lot about photographers and how to get into the model scene. But I'm already a model, so it's okay. So if you enjoy this podcast, give us a thumbs up, hit that notification button, and give us a follow. Everything is a link tree below. All our socials are there. Put in the comments, have you met a creepy photographer before? And if you are one, put your name down there so we know.
Yeah. On the Facebook group.
Exactly. So everyone knows. Hope you enjoy this podcast, and we'll see everyone on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.